Hello, gorgeous Capricorns, and welcome to our April 2022 chat. It was so cool to read your comments from last month about your journey as Capricorns and what that's felt like, and just taking some time to acknowledge the Capricorn journey and how intense it has been. And I'm so intrigued by what's going to come up in the coming years because we are getting so close to the end of your work with Pluto. And it's going to be such a different world when Pluto moves on to Aquarius. It's not going to happen quite this month, but this month we will see Pluto do a retrograde, beginning of a retrograde on April 29th. And it will do about a 5-month retrograde in your sign. But I guess you're kind of used to this by now, so many years into this transit. But still, I think it's really interesting as we're coming to the end of such a saga. I mean, really, like such a potent, powerful saga of energy moving through Capricorn over the last many, many years. To think about what that means, because we're starting to get to a place for you all where it's about culmination. It's about understanding your journey and redefining what it is you want this life to be about for you. And I think we do this all the time, seasonally, yearly, even every month. I think I'm always kind of redefining what meaning is for me. But I think this is an important month for you in regards to that sense of meaning. In fact, the message that came through when I sat down with your energy is redefining what purpose means to you. And the thing that I mean by this is not necessarily, I think, the way that sometimes we're taught to think about purpose, like that we have this one thing that we need to get really good at and get to the top with. And that's life and that's purpose. And some people do have that one thing, that one beautiful gift. And it's so apparent to them, when they're like 3 and they go and do it. But I think most of us are designed to be very open and fluid and to allow purpose to be much more mysterious and soft and exploratory and something that morphs and changes throughout our lives. And even those people that have that thing that they're really good at, ballet or a sport or an art form, they're not just in a static place. They're constantly revising why they do that, how they do it, what it means to them. And so it's all kind of an illusion that we ever have this purpose that we dig into. And I think this is a really beautiful month for Capricorns as we enter into another Pluto retrograde in Capricorn at the end of the month. Also, as we begin eclipse season at the end of the month with a new moon solar eclipse in fellow Earth sign Taurus. This is a really, really beautiful time for you to re-examine how you define your value in this world and how you define purpose for yourself, and to loosen your grip on it if you're feeling like it needs to be something very specific or it needs to be rigidly held. This is a really great time to relax into who you are becoming and to start to understand that you are now, I would say the next year is about culmination. It is about you culminating all of the growth, all of the wisdom really that you've had from these deep digs below the earth for the last many years to take forward with you. How are you going to take it forward with you? And now is the time to start doing that work. This month is really beautiful in so many ways. It is Aries season with Sun and Mercury moving through Aries, but we also have 4 planets moving through Pisces this month still, and 10 of Swords came up. One of my favorite energies. We'll talk about why in a moment. We have Mars, Venus, Neptune, and Jupiter still all in Pisces this month. And this means that we are still doing a lot of behind the scenes work. Now for you Capricorns, this is going to be wonderful for expressing. So I would say, do art, do writing, let out some of the emotions and the experiences you've had over these last years. Allow yourself to process through creative visioning of any kind. Temperance, love temperance. Yes, yes. Divine alchemy at its finest. At 9 of Swords. Oh, our dear friend 9 of Swords. This is such important stuff right here, though. This is like these are the ingredients for coming home to ourselves. No kidding. Lovers. Hello, lovers. Love it. Okay, I'm going to pull one card from my Animal Totem Tarot just to round out our chat today. All that energy in Pisces, yes. Process and express your process. Allow that culminating wisdom to move through you. Start to collect it. Start to write about it. Create. The eagle, King of Swords. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. We're going on a little journey this month, Capricorn, with the reading here. I also want to mention before we get into the cards that Aries season for you all is about your internal world, the safe place, the place you go to be home, and also the world that you don't share with the rest of the world. This is a really important season for that for you, and one of deep healing. And then as we move into Taurus season, this is energy of the heart for you. So this is very intimate, loving space. This is about going on a journey into your internal world and taking care of yourself. So in that vein, let's talk about these cards. We start off with Ten of Swords. And this makes me think about what I was just saying about the culmination process that is going to really be key for you all for the next year. It's just going to continue to be a theme. The rest of this year, you're going to be noticing that there's this sense of full circle that keeps coming up, where something like loops are closing out, things that didn't make sense or were just floating in space and time. And it's like, why did that have to happen? Start to have, some things will never get that like nice, tidy answer for, but you start to get that, oh, I see how that came together. And Ten of Swords is a part of that. This is a card of release. And this month there is going to be an element of that with eclipse season coming up at the end of it. And with all the energy moving through Pisces, this is a time of letting go and healing. But what I love about Ten of Swords is this is no longer about fighting ancient battles or battles that maybe were important and intense at one point but are now closing out. This is a time where we let go of the tension in our bodies, the tension in our minds that are trying to fix that battle over and over again. This is a card of healing from trauma. Beginning the healing process. So if you have tension that's built up, if you have parts of yourself that need some affection right now, this is really going to be a wonderful time to do that. This is about letting go of that tension. It's also about embracing and showing compassion to the parts of ourselves that need expression, understanding, compassionate witnessing, and also it's time to release them and let them go. So this is very transformative energy. Now, it's so interesting to me because the way these cards came out, we've got Ten of Swords and Nine of Swords surrounding Temperance. And this is why this is so mystical and magical and cool, because when you just look at this is like something from Dante's Divine Comedy or something, because we have this angel here and the angel of Temperance. Angel of Temperance is all about understanding and loving ourselves without feeling like we have to push ourselves to the brink and almost become like an archetype of ourselves in order to be worth living. Temperance is a reminder that, you have so many resilient skills, Capricorn. You're so good at like showing up, sticking it out, getting through really tough stuff, finding a way to move through it and move, and being resourceful and making it happen. And you have so many beautiful skills when it comes to that stuff. You're very perceptive and clear and curious. There's a lot of really great things about your energy. But the Temperance is always a reminder too that you don't have to go so hard all the time. You don't have to use up all your fire, all your willpower in one go. Temperance is a reminder that you are also allowed to accommodate and take care of other aspects of yourself and bring them into greater harmony and peace. And he's filling a cup here. This angel is filling a cup from one to the other, creating a new tempered mixture, a new alchemical process, creating a new thing. So for you, this is going to be about maybe re-examining how you want to show up to this life. What is feeling true, and which narratives, if it's I've always had to work hard and I'm never going to get peace, if that's the story and it's just the engine underneath everything, this is going to be a time when you'll be asked to do some healing with that, because that's a hard world view to live with, right? And we all have that, believe me. Oh, I am far from free of my own little stories about worthiness and all sorts of things. We all do this work as humans. But I love that this angel is here in between these cards, because one, we have this release card. You don't have to fight that battle anymore. But here on the other side, we have the Nine of Swords, which is still the part of ourselves that says, yes, I do need to worry. I am haunted. I am having those nightmares. I am feeling it in my body. I am still thinking in those circular patterns. I still feel like the world's falling apart. It's that part of ourselves that wants to be responsible, wants to be on top of it, wants to keep us safe, and wants to be present to make sure it's all okay. But this Temperance card, this alchemy, this transformation of something is saying that rather than turning away from the parts of ourselves that are tired, worried, confused, wanting to hold it all together, we turn toward them. We listen, we witness, we release, and we become something else. We transform into something else, and our energy is suddenly unlocked to access new experiences in life and new ways of doing. And this is where that message about just redefining purpose is so important. And I mean, redefining, and not just, saying, well, my purpose is to be good at this job, but redefining purpose to be much more liquid, much more mysterious, and much more open to where this life force conversation wants to take you. Now, that is some deep stuff right there. And Aries season might take you to some really deep places in yourself, but like healing places. And I think I want to make that clear. This is a season of healing in Aries season. It just is. But we get to the end of this month. Lovers. The sky clears. A way is open. Some of you may really be meeting some very meaningful people in your life this month and connecting at a very deep level. But this is the kind of energy, and even if it can be a partnership for sure, it can also be a creativity thing. It can also be you just falling in love with yourself and your life again. It can show up the lovers can show up in so many different ways. This is the kind of energy that shows up when we have taken the time to take care of our inner warrior, our inner guard, our inner trauma. It's amazing how sitting with it and feeling it and releasing it physically through the body allows us to access what wants to come and meet us now. And for you, this is a time of renewal. It's a time of shifting out of one era into another. Now we have the King of Swords here at the end. Very powerful energy. Very deliberate energy. Devoted, deliberate, clear, purposeful energy moving through here. And the eagle is also and the King of Swords is about perspective as well. The eagle is able to look over the big picture and understand the process and see it all from a very wise and elevated standpoint. So can kind of see where we are making it harder for ourselves, right? Where we are thinking ourselves into stressful states, when we are beating ourselves up for the energy levels we had the last 5 years, or worrying about how we're going to make it work in the coming years. The King of Swords allows us to see that these thoughts aren't doing more than just using up energy and fuel with no true benefit, right? Or the King of Swords is also, and I feel like I've been emphasizing too much the healing from trauma that is so important for Capricorns at this time in this year of culmination, in this year of deep understanding. But I think also the King of Swords, along with this Lover's energy, this is also about being able to start seeing new qualities of light and connection in your life. and having there be like cracks opening up where the light is coming in, and where new signposts are opening up and new visions are opening up. You know, this is a really powerful image because it's, you know, he's up here on this like kind of stormy mountaintop and is airy, and it looks kind of intense, right? Like the natural elements, the natural world is harsh and cutting and really intense, and yet he's able to see through all of that, right? And I think that is so perfect for where Capricorns are in the big macro process. I think this month there's going to be a part of you that feels like you're still right in the middle of everything, but and like, how do I move forward? And there's another part of you that sees the whole picture, and those rays of light are going to be so piercing and bright and clear and true, and things are going to open up very quickly. I think, in fact, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens in the coming months after April for you all, because there's just this opening up, this lightening that is happening. It's even happening here in April, like in real time. So it's going to be fascinating to see what opens up for you in the coming weeks and months ahead, my friends. You are getting so close to the end of a really big chapter, and enjoy and allow this culmination to happen for you. I will be activating the full moon in Libra that we'll be having this month, as well as eclipse season, which is coming up at the end of the month with the Taurus new moon solar eclipse, over on Patreon. I would love to see you there. We do things every single week. We hang out all the time. It's a really wonderful community. You can also find me on the one and only true Sarah Vrba account. There are some dupes out there, so make sure to just follow the handle I leave here. You can also find me on my website and my email if you'd like to reach out and connect with me. I would really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed and commented, any of the above. It really helps me to keep doing this work. And also, I like having you here. It feels so nice, and it feels weird to ask for this, but like, I want you here. That's the truth. So I'd love it if you did that. And I hope we hang out again very soon, my beautiful Capricorn friends. I appreciate you so much, your energy in this world, all that you have done, all that you have contributed to this life here. Thank you so much. I will talk to you very soon. Have a beautiful April.